The image has a name. A Super Saiyan God. So what can you tell me about the existence of this Super Saiyan God?
Regular Super Saiyan, sure. But that's a no on the God stuff, buddy.
See, my lord, it's as I suspected. This wasn't a true premonition, it was just a dream, the random thoughts of a sleeping mind.
Possibly. Except I'm not the only one who dreamed it. The Oracle Fish saw it as well. Let's ask Prince Vegeta what he knows. Greeting. Now then, tell me something useful about this Super Saiyan God.
A Super Saiyan God?
Seems letting me down is your kind specialty.
Yeah, $3! That's exactly what you heard! With $3, you can have full access to my manga in high quality, like Yamoshi as a girl, and of course, the best, Akumo Saga! All this and much more with more than 5 gigs of fan manga access! Patreon and comments!
Currently in the 7th universe, more precisely on the edges of that universe, it was possible to see Whis and Beerus in a pillar of energy flying through space until they landed in an asteroid zone. And when looking at the center, they saw the last of the super spheres of Dragon that was covered by some asteroids that ended up hitting it, and thus forming a small crust that was covering almost the entire sphere. But there were some cracks that were releasing the golden glow of the Super Dragon Ball. Whis said, "We finally found the last Super Dragon Balls, and since this is the last, it must be the 3-star sphere that was missing. With it, we have all the Super Dragon Balls necessary to summon Super Shenron and make your wish, Sir Beerus," said Whis to Beerus, who had a big smile on his face as he looked at the last Super Dragon Ball that was missing. Beerus said, "Yes, with the 3-star Super Dragon Ball, we will have all 7 spheres necessary to be able to summon Super Shenron, and with that, I will be able to bring Yamoshi back to life at the height of his power and his age. After all, it wouldn't be fun to face someone old and weak, because what really defeats powerful mortals is age and time. So facing a younger version of Yamoshi would be the best option for me to have the battle I so desire, which is to fight against Yamoshi, the true Super Saiyan God," Beerus said in a very excited tone as he approached the Super Dragon Ball that now looked very similar to a planet made of black rocks. When Beerus approached the Dragon Ball, he placed his hand on the stones that were covering the sphere, and in the place where Beerus placed his hand, Beerus's purple energy of destruction began to destroy all those purple ones. And shortly after, there was a small explosion that destroyed all the rocks, leaving only the 3-star Super Dragon Ball free and without any scratches. Beerus said, "Good thing, I thought that if I used my power of destruction in an uncontrolled way, I would cause some damage to the Super Dragon Ball, and this could end up weakening the sphere," Beerus said before giving a sigh, seeing that the Super Dragon Ball was intact. Whis said, "Mr. Beerus, I believe that even if you used your full power, you wouldn't even make a scratch on the Super Dragon Balls, and in reality I don't think even me or my brothers could make a scratch in the Super Dragon Balls," said Whis while looking at his master, who, upon hearing the angel's speech, ended up widening his eyes, since the difference in power between the gods of destruction and the angels was enormous, and if not even they could scratch the Dragon Super Balls, then no one would make it. Beerus said, "That's not possible. Goku and Vegeta said that Zamasu managed to destroy the Super Dragon Balls so that no one would be able to use them again, so how could an angel like you not be able to do that?" Beerus asked his angel. Whis said, "Zamasu managed to destroy those Super Dragon Balls because he managed to cut their bond with their original creator, Zalama, and thanks to that, the Super Dragon Balls lost their powers and became giant stone spheres that were easily destroyed, and Zamasu destroyed them. But as long as the bond with Zalama exists, they will be indestructible." Whis said to his master that upon hearing that explanation, he understood why the Super Dragon Balls had been destroyed by future Zamasu. Beerus spoke, "Zalama, the creator of the Super Dragon Balls, known as the Dragon God, you had said that the power of the Dragon Gods that come out of the Dragon Balls has a power corresponding to that of their creators. So this means that Zalama is a being whose strengths are far above mine and yours, which means that he is probably at the same power level as the High Priest, perhaps a little stronger than him or a little weaker, but that the two are at a similar power level is irrefutable," Beerus said with a hand on his chin thoughtfully and a little afraid of the power level of the Dragon God Zalama.
Guys, before continuing this epic story, leave your like, and of course if you want to help the channel, leave your super thanks below and help the channel financially, and also subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any news.
Whis said, "Yes, Zalama must be as strong as my father. Which of the two is stronger is a big doubt that we won't find out anytime soon, but that they are among the strongest of all 12 universes is a certainty. Well, now is the time to use the Super Dragon Balls to summon Super Shenron to make your wish, Sir Beerus, said Whis while looking at his master, who just laughed excitedly at that. Beerus said, "You're right, Whis. Let's invoke the Super Shenron right now and hope that Yamoshi comes back to life at the peak of his strength and age so that he doesn't get in the way of our fight," Beerus said with a big smile on his face. Whis, obeying his master's orders, hit his staff in the air, and from within the dimension inside the staff, the other 6 Super Dragon Balls appeared and were close to the 3-star sphere. Seeing all 7 Super Dragon Balls gathered, Beerus approached Whis, who began to invoke Super Shenron, speaking in the language of the gods, and when he finished, all 7 Dragon Balls shone brightly, and a golden light ended up appearing, and all the universes were able to feel the presence of Super Shenron, who was a gigantic golden dragon with red eyes. Beerus said, "Whis, say exactly what I say to Super Shenron in the language of the gods, since mine is a little rusty, and I don't want anything to go wrong. I wish that Yamoshi, the one who gave rise to the myth of the Super Saiyan God, returns to life at the height of his power and age. I want the moment Yamoshi returns to life that he appears on planet Earth very close to the Capsule Corporation," Beerus said while looking at his angel, and upon hearing his master's words, the angel repeated everything to Super Shenron, only speaking in the language of the gods. After Whis spoke of Beerus's wish for Super Shenron, the strongest dragon god agreed, and then his eyes and entire body began to shine brightly, and soon a type of explosion happened, and Super Shenron returned inside the Super Dragon Balls that disappeared from the site, spreading throughout the 6th and 7th universe. Beerus said, "Well, if everything goes the way I expect, Yamoshi should now be alive and should be on planet Earth, and will probably be in the Capsule Corporation, so let's go to planet Earth right now, Whis," Beerus said before holding his angel's shoulder so they could travel at high speed. Whis said, "Of course, Sir Beerus," said Whis before hitting his staff, and then several lights surrounded them, and then Whis and Beerus began to go to planet Earth inside a beam of energy that had several different colors. Planet Earth. Currently on planet Earth, more precisely in the Capsule Corporation, it was possible to see that there were still some people in the place even though it was night, and the main ones were Goku, Vegeta and their families, along with some other people like Broly, who was still there as he would end up sleeping in the Capsule Corporation that night at the insistence of Bulma, who thought it would be a good idea as Bulma had enjoyed talking to Broly's friend Cheelai. Suddenly, in the middle of the Capsule Corporation's lawn, a golden light appeared, attracting the attention of everyone present, especially the warriors. Seconds passed and the golden light disappeared, and from it, a woman very similar to Goku appeared. She was practically a female version of Goku, but she had a monkey tail and was wearing clothes made from animal hides. Before anyone could react, Broly, out of pure instinct, ended up attacking the woman because he felt she was dangerous. When Broly approached, he tried to punch the woman, but she easily caught Broly's fist, and in the next instant punched the Saiyan in the abdomen and then caught him and threw him over his shoulder, causing Broly to hit his back hard on the ground. The woman, seeing that he was her opponent, tried to punch Broly, but Goku appeared using his teleportation next to Broly and took him out of there, returning to Vegeta's side, making the girl's punch hit the ground, generating a small earthquake. And when he saw that he had made a mistake, Yamoshi looked at the Saiyans. Goku said if she had managed to land that blow on Broly, he would be pretty hurt now, but when she saw that she wouldn't hit Broly anymore, she reduced the strength of the blow so as not to destroy the place where we are. Perhaps because it is an area flat and easy to see us, and if this area were changed, it would be bad for your field of vision. This woman is really strong, Vegeta, said Goku, who was in a combat stance in case that woman tried to advance towards them. Vegeta said, "You don't need to tell me the obvious, Kakarot. This woman was able to easily defend herself and counter Broly's blow. It was so easy for her that it was ridiculous to see her dominance over Broly. In fact, next time think before attacking your opponent like you just did, Broly," said Vegeta to Broly, who was beside him, getting up and getting into a combat stance. Broly said, "Sorry, the moment she appeared I felt something inside me that left me with a certain fear, so I ended up acting on impulse and moving towards her with the intention of defeating her as quickly as possible," Broly said while staring at the mysterious woman who wore clothes made from animal hide, which reminded him of his time before meeting Cheelai. Gohan said, "She is wearing clothes made from animal skin and leather, which shows that where she came from, people are not as developed, but she also has pants similar to those of the Saiyans." Mr. Beerus said that he would use the Super Dragon Balls to bring the first Super Saiyan God back to life. "So that means that this woman in front of us is actually Yamoshi," said Gohan after observing everything that was happening. And then Gohan remembered what Beerus said he would do, and this theory ended up making everyone surprised. Vegeta said, "Yamoshi, the first Super Saiyan God, is a woman," said Vegeta, really surprised by that because he thought that Yamoshi was a man and not a woman so similar to his rival. Yamoshi said, "Is there a problem with me being a woman? Because if there is, it's better to say it to my face, and besides, where am I and why am I so young? I remember I was facing a group of space pirates who were trying to destroy my best friend's planet, and I ended up dying during the fight, and I looked much older than I do now," said Yamoshi, looking at herself before looking at the people around her, and she soon looked at Goku and noticed the similarity between them. Before anyone could say anything to Yamoshi, she disappeared and reappeared in front of Goku holding his face. Goku, upon feeling the woman's touch, he tried to move away, but Yamoshi held his face hard enough that Goku couldn't get away from her. Goku thought, "What strength is this? I can't move, much less get away from her in my base form. Maybe if I transform I can get away from Yamoshi, but if I do that she might think I'm a threat and try to attack me. Even though I like facing powerful individuals, I don't know if I'll be able to face Yamoshi. After all, I don't know how strong she is, and I could end up being killed with just one blow." Goku thought while looking at Yamoshi, who was analyzing him, surprised by the similarity between her appearances. Yamoshi said, "You are very similar to me, so similar that I would say you are my twin brother, but I know I don't have brothers. This place is different from the planets I've been to, and these clothes are also different, so you must have very advanced technology, or somehow I ended up in the future and I'm younger, I don't know how, but I stayed younger," said Yamoshi as she looked at Goku, and then looked around seeing the people and structures, and after a while she moved away from Goku. Bulma said, "From what she said, Yamoshi really is the first Saiyan to achieve the power of a Super Saiyan God. In her case, she would be the first Super Saiyan Goddess." To answer your previous questions, Miss Yamoshi, you are on planet Earth, and the reason you are here and so young is because Beerus, the god of destruction of the 7th universe, used the power of the Super Dragon Balls to summon Super Shenron, and using the power of the dragon, you were able to come back to life at the height of your age so that you and he could face each other in an epic combat. Because years ago, Beerus ended up having a prophetic dream where he would face a very powerful Saiyan. Beerus thought that this Saiyan, that man you were holding, was Goku, but Beerus saw that he was wrong and it wasn't Goku, so Beerus decided to bring you back to life, Yamoshi, for the two of you to fight, Bulma said, summarizing the latest events for Yamoshi, who took one of her hands to his chin in a thoughtful way. Yamoshi said, "I understand, so I actually ended up dying in that fight, and now I'm back to life with my younger appearance. Luckily, I was already missing being so beautiful, and apparently in addition to my beauty, my strength is back to the same as when I was young. In fact, I'm even stronger than I was back then. This Beerus must have wanted me to return to life at the peak of my full strength. I don't know this Beerus guy, but I thank him for bringing me back to life," said Yamoshi while smiling. Then Yamoshi took a deep breath and released some of her power.
With that, we will end today's video. If you want to see the continuation of this incredible story, leave a lot of likes on the video and comment, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. See you in another day, guys.